Hey guys, it's Sylvia. So I wanted to make like a story time video today, and I wanted to talk about my journey of being a teen parent. I wanted to speak about it because it's something that's so common nowadays, and even though it's sad to say it is, but it's something that a lot of people go through now, and I feel like they're just not educated enough. And a lot of people who don't have kids, who are teenagers, aren't educated, and they like to judge teen parents. But I think it's just a video kind of for education more than anything. But I wanted to share my story in case somebody is going through teen pregnancy, or like they just found out they're pregnant or something and they're so scared. It's not as hard as everyone says it is. So I want to start from the beginning. I've known my son's father slash boyfriend slash husband for a long time. We've known each other for years, and we never acted on feelings or anything. So we never really ended up dating until before I got pregnant. And we were dating for like, I want to say like we were almost 2 months together when I found out. But I always knew, I guess, but I didn't always know. But you know, before it happened and everything, I missed my period, and I was like, Mom, I missed my period. I was always straight up with my mom. That's one thing I think was really good, because a lot of moms, when you come up to them and you're a teenager and you're just like, hey mom, I'm pregnant, or when you come out pregnant and you kind of didn't butter your mom up to that, it's kind of just like, shit, how am I supposed to tell my mom? Because it's the first thing that comes to your head. Or if you're living with your aunt, how am I supposed to tell them? How am I supposed to tell who I'm living with, whether it is your grandmother, your aunt, your brother? How are you going to tell them? So I was living with my mom. So I was like, I told my mom straight up when I missed my period. I told her, I was like, Mom, I haven't gotten my period. And she's just like, oh, don't worry about it. Because, in my family, it's natural to get a regular period. So we never really have most girls don't really have a set date. It's really irregular. It just comes whenever the fuck it feels like it. So whatever. But I had told her, I was like, Mom, my period hasn't come down. She's just like, oh, don't worry about it. It'll probably come in a couple of days or something. So I think we almost, at least mine always came in the beginning of the month. So if like the middle came around, I always knew there was something wrong. Now prior to this, I had just gotten off of birth control because I was on the pill. I was on the pill for a long time, for I want to say about 3 to 4 months. And I did not get my period at all those entire 4 months. So my mom swore I was pregnant. She took me to the doctor, and they said, no, she's not pregnant. She just, it's the birth control. That's most likely what it was. So my mom took me off of birth control because she didn't want to scare like that. And then I ended up getting pregnant. But I told her, and, the next week came, and I told Mom, period stuff doesn't come down. She's like, don't worry about it. She's like, oh, man. But yeah, by like, I want to say like 2 weeks and a half, I was like, Mom, I haven't got my period, and I'm seeing someone, I have a boyfriend, and we do have intercourse or whatever. And at the time I was telling her that we used protection, but we didn't, because I don't know, we just didn't. But since she was like, so you need to get yourself checked, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get myself checked. I'm not pregnant though. I know it for a fact. I would know if I'm pregnant. I don't even have morning sickness. Like, there's nothing. So it kind of was like that for a while. And then my birthday's May 20th. So I woke up the morning of my birthday, and I was kind of just like, whatever, it's my birthday. I'm not gonna go to. I'm telling my mom I'm going to school. I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna go hang out. I'm gonna have so much fun. My 17th birthday. I'm so happy, So then I was about to leave the house. I'm like, okay, bye, Mom. Give my mom a kiss on the cheek. She goes, bye. And right before I close the door, she goes, Sylvia. And I go, yeah. And I look at her, and she goes, if you don't get tested today, if you don't come back with a doctor's paper in your hand, you're not coming inside this house. And I look at her like, are you kidding me? It's my birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do it. It's going to come out negative. I'm going to get the paper for her just so she can, not worry. I understand. So I met up with Brandon, which is my boyfriend's name. I met up with Brandon, and I was like, listen, my mom wants me to get checked because, at the time he knew about it also. So I was like, my mom wants me to get checked. But I highly doubt I'm pregnant, so we're just gonna go ahead and have fun, whatever. So I went to the doctor and everything. So, you know, I asked them for a physical just in general because I was due for one anyways. So I asked for, you know, the physical, and I peed in the cup and everything, and they did the pregnancy test, and she called me back in and she goes, okay, well, this is literally how it went, and I will never forget this day. She literally just sits there and goes, and she's writing on her computer, she goes, well, the pregnancy test came out positive, congratulations. And I'm just like, what did you just say to me? And she's just like, it came out positive. She's like, is the father here? Do you want to bring him in so we could talk to you? And I was like, yeah. I was like so stunned. I didn't know what to do. And I walked out, and when I opened the door to the waiting room, I saw Brandon, and I looked at him, and I saw it was not full of people, there was a bunch of people there, and I looked at Brandon and I said, yeah, come here, just come on in. And the second the door closed, the second he came in and the door closed, I started crying my eyes out, and I couldn't stop. He was just like, just relax, and I was like, it came out positive, what am I gonna do? And we kind of both he didn't cry, and he took it so well, but I knew he was scared. And we went through, she told us about it, we did the OBGYN appointment, she kind of just gave us some basics. But when we left, I called my mom, and I was crying in tears, and I was like, Mom, it came out positive. And she was just like, I knew it. She didn't really scream at me, I guess she wasn't so shocked because of the fact that I had spoken to her about it. I was like, Mom, my period hasn't come, I kind of let her know beforehand. See, I feel like if I would have called her just out of nowhere, hey Mom, I'm pregnant, it would have been a whole different situation, and it could have been a whole disaster. But she's just like, don't worry about it, we're gonna figure it out, whatever. So me and Brandon were on our way home, and we didn't know how to tell his mother, and I feel like this is something I want to say. I'm gonna say it because it is the reality of it. And I feel like every parent, whether you are 30, I feel like every parent who didn't plan it and is not in a good place in their life goes through it. Me and Brandon, I'm anti-abortion, but I don't judge those who do it. If you do it, it's because you have your reasons, and if you're in the wrong place, you can't even support yourself. I feel like, listen, if you'd had an abortion in the past, or you're going to have an abortion, I feel like that's totally your decision, and that's not my business, and I won't judge you for it. But I feel like there's just other ways to go about it. So I feel like at the time he brought it up, and he was like, we're not ready for this. Said, you're still in high school, I'm still in high school, where we're not ready for this, we're too young. And I just couldn't. I was like, I can't do that. I was 6 weeks when I found out, so I was like, I can't do that to my baby, it's mine, I can't believe this. But I would never do that. I would much rather give it up for adoption than have an abortion, And I feel like I would never pick abortion, and it's not because I'm no Planned Parenthood person, I don't care, listen, you have an abortion, that's your situation, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one suffering, whether it is good or bad. But I personally could never do it because it would weigh on my conscience forever. And there's times where it's necessary, as in, sometimes there's the baby could kill you if you give birth to it or something, like it could kill you. But I personally, at the time, and still to this day, I wouldn't do it, and I didn't do it. So I was just kind of just like, I don't want to do it, I want to have the baby, whatever. And that same day, no, I think it was like the day after. Yeah, the day after, we went to the OBGYN to get a sonogram, our first sonogram. And we did the sonogram, and we heard his heartbeat, and I think that's kind of when it settled in, and I was like, this is my baby, it's mine. And I'm gonna take care of it forever, you know, and this is a part of me. And I think that's when it really hit the both of us. And you know, he got a job and we ended up being fine, you know, and I had my son, and he's the biggest blessing I ever had, you know. But people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, so was he planned, or was he what, or if he wasn't? And it sounds very mean. It's probably, I say it and I'm like, that sounds so mean, but it's the truth. People ask me, it's like, was he a mistake? Or was he a mistake? And I'm just like, he was a mistake. But he was the best mistake I have ever made in my life. And he is the only mistake I do not regret. Because he made me who I am today. I was such a bad kid. I would skip class. I wouldn't show up to school. I was disrespecting my mother back and forth. And you know, I was just such a bad kid. I was literally at the rebel age. You know, I was 16, 17. I was such a rebel, and I wouldn't come home till like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and things like that. And, you know, I had my son, and I got kicked out of school. When I found that, like a week or so after I found out I was pregnant, I got kicked out of my school because of my attendance. You know, when you don't have enough, you know, when you miss a lot of days of school, they kind of just kick you out and send you to like an alternative school or something. So I went to a GED program for my son, you know, because I wanted to have my diploma for him. So, excuse me. You know, I went to a GED program, and I took the test while I was pregnant still. And I failed math, but I gave birth to him in December. I took it December 12th, I believe, and the 30th I gave birth. And I kind of let go of school for 2 years. So for a year and a half, I want to say. Yeah, a year and a half. And I let go of school because I couldn't take care of him and go to school at the same time because I didn't have a babysitter. Because my mom was working and whatever. So I kind of stood home with him. I think, like right before his first birthday, on December 11th, me and Brandon moved out of our mother's houses, and we got a place to ourselves, and we got our first apartment together, and now it's just me, him, and the baby, and he's gonna be 2 now in December. And you know, getting my apartment, I decided I can't go back to school because I have to get settled in now. Now I need to get a job because I need to make sure my son has everything. Because, you know, once you're on your own, your family helps you. But they do pull back a little, not to be mean or anything, but kind of to give you that sense of responsibility, you know? So I just recently got back into school, and I got my GED. I did the test. I went into a program, and 3 weeks into the program, they decided to give me the test. I took the test and I passed it. I have my GED now. I'm gonna start college in January, you know. And I feel, and everybody says a kid ruins your life, and that's not the case. I need everybody to understand that that is not the case. Having a kid makes your life just 100%. It just makes it a little harder, because now you're not living for yourself anymore. You're living for someone else. Now you have to make sure, now you have to keep yourself alive, and you have to keep someone else alive also, because they depend on you. So I feel like it doesn't make your life worse. I feel like if you, a lot of people told me when they found out I was pregnant, they were like, oh, you ruined your life, and you did this, and you did that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of just like, my son was the best thing that ever happened to me, because he was the reason why I went back to school. I seriously think about it all the time, and I'm just like, I feel like if I never gotten pregnant, I would have been a dropout of high school. I would have never gotten my diploma. I would have never been going to college. I probably would have still been living with my mom, and I'm 19 years old. You know, I probably would have never had a job. I probably would have never had all the stuff that I have now. So I feel like it's just I think it's just what you make out of it. It really is. I took the opportunity of the fact that I was pregnant. I took it as a blessing, and I decided to get my stuff together. I decided to get my shit together because of him, because I have to make a living that would make him comfortable and him proud of, So having a kid doesn't ruin your life. Having a kid just makes it enjoyable. Watching my son grow up is the best thing. It's literally a feeling that I can never explain into words. And I look at his baby pictures and I see him walking and talking and asking me for things and saying mommy and daddy and grandma. And I cry because I want him to be my baby again. And it's so great. It really is, being a mother. Whether it is being a teenager, whether you're 40, whether you're 30, whether you're 20 years old, I feel like a kid is just a blessing. And it's the biggest blessing I've ever gotten. Because if it wasn't for my son, I probably would have never been where I am right now. I would have never been well off as I am right now. Me and his father probably wouldn't be together because, and I'm not saying by any means at all that me and Brandon are only together for Ian, but I feel like having Ian and getting pregnant and everything made our bond and our relationship so much stronger. And I feel like anybody who's going through teen pregnancy or knows somebody going through teen pregnancy, they need to understand it's hard. It is hard. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's hard. But you do what you need to do, and you wake up every day positive, and you eat great for your kid. You drink what you need to drink for your kid. And as long as, whether you're a single mother, if you're a single mother, you don't have to move out of your mother's house. You don't have to. What you need to do is make sure that kid is happy. Because I know a lot of people, I was lucky enough to have my son's father in his life. I was lucky enough that he stood around. But it isn't that easy for everybody. If you're going through teen pregnancy, it does get a lot easier. And it does get so much better. Because it is the light of your life. It is the reason you decide to wake up every morning. Seeing their smile, and when they grow, hearing them say mommy. And I literally cannot wait for the day for my son to wake up and just be like, mommy, I love you. And I feel like it's hard. I won't say it's easy because it isn't. It is hard. But it's nothing you cannot get through. I promise you that. So I feel like that's all I have to say. But I decided to share it with you guys because it is something that not everybody goes through, and a lot of people like to shed negativity about being a teen parent. But like I said, sometimes having a baby is literally the only kind of salvation some people have. So yeah. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I want to do, maybe in a couple weeks or a month or so, I want to do a Q&A about, my teen parent or something, teen parent questions or anything. So, just leave a comment down below, subscribe, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. So, see you guys. Bye.